Hello, hockey fans! Welcome back to the Hockey Flow, your one-stop shop for all things hockey. My name is Josh, and before we get into Today in Hockey, we have to talk about Connor McDavid. My goodness, Oilers just wrapped up. I'm a very happy man. Oilers won the game 4-2. We're moving to a Game 7 Saturday night. I tell you what, that's going to be kind of the theme for the evening. Today, May 12th, 2022, we did have 4 games on the docket, so we're going to go through all those, get my reactions to all the games. Definitely going to talk about Connor McDavid again, though. Boy, probably had the defensive effort of the season, I would say. Probably one of my favorite games I've ever actually watched of the gentleman. So definitely going to talk more about that. The Blues wrapped up today, as we're seeing here. They did clinch into round 2 against the Wild. We'll dive into all that, of course. We are going to get our picks for tomorrow night's games. I have to admit, I'm pretty riding pretty high tonight after today's picks. We are going to conclude our video tonight with a wonderful article deep dive. We are looking at another article from The Athletic. Man, I love that website. But we are looking at Brent Burns, Sharks legend. I found a really cool one they released today. I'm excited to bring to you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right into all the action, shall we? All right, Bruins Canes. This one was a fun one. Not for you Canes fans, I do apologize, but Bruins fans, man, you guys came out humming. This one was cool. It was neat to see the Bruins kind of dominate play a little bit. Man, that hit early on Aho. Gosh, hope he's okay. I mean, continue to play, but saw some comments that he definitely wasn't himself. So always hate to see people get hurt, but man, that was a vicious hit, and that was kind of fun to watch. But wish there was no negative impact on that one. But yeah, Bruins ended up winning this one, tying it up. This is going to be a theme going to Game 7. So very excited for that, most certainly. Someone did bring up a fun fact today that the home team is been the winner every game. And so with that, I think I'm going to probably have to pick the Canes to win Game 7. But yeah, excellent game for you Bruins fans. Excellent for us non-partial hockey fans. We get another Game 7. Very exciting. Maple Leafs Lightning, probably game of the evening. I mean, for the non-partial fan here. Overtime, always got to love an overtime game. Braden Point puts it at home to win it in overtime for the Lightning. Good for you, Bolts. I did pick the Lightning. So good for me in that regard, but I thought it would be a little bit of a slugfest, and it was. Man, Maple Leafs, you were so close. I thought you guys had it. I thought we were going to clinch it there for a little bit, but man, Bolts, you didn't go away. Kudos to you guys. Played a strong game, tied it up, 3 games apiece. Excited for another Game 7. Man, I tell you what, Saturday night, we've got some exciting hockey. I got a lot to look forward to, absolutely. But this one was a fun one. Would have really, would have liked to see maybe a few more goals, but hey, 4-3, I can't complain. This one was great. I was also neat to see Jack Campbell smile at one point in the game. Boy, I can't tell you the last time that guy cracked a smile on the ice. But good for you Lightning fans. Maple Leaf fans, it's okay. I know it's going to be a tough couple days, and Saturday is going to be probably a nightmare. Nerves are going to be all over the place, but I'll be there with you, absolutely. Speaking of which, Oilers-Kings, that's going to be the late game of the evening. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Blues Wild, man, Blues fans, you guys got to be happy. Clinched it, moving on to round 2, won the series 4-2, put up 5 goals, man. Another great performance for you guys. We saw a goal from earlier in the game. And then here we're looking at another one. But yeah, 5 goals. I mean, goodness. And Wild fans, that's a tough one. Tough one to swallow, but it was a good season. You guys should not be disappointed. Kaprizov played great. A lot of players, Jordan Greenway is one that comes to mind right away. Like, he really made an impact this season, made some great strides, so good for him. And he's gigantic, 6'6". Always got to love those big power forwards. Can handle the puck a little bit. But yeah. Good game for you Blues fans. I'm a little disappointed. I did pick the Wild to win this series, but that's all right. We can't win them all. But Oilers-Kings, game of the evening. All right, now let's get into the fun. This one was tough. Talk about stressful. Man, at one point I thought it was 3-0, and no, Josh, what are you doing? But here we go. We win 4-2, put an empty netter at the end. Kane put it up and flashes the crowd, 7 as he's going. Is that Game 7, or because he scored 7 goals in the series? I don't know. Knowing Kane, it's probably the latter, wants to give the crowd a hard time, but Oiler fans, you got to be happy. The effort from McDavid, again, this defensively, I don't think I've ever seen him play this well. He impacted the game constantly every time he was on the ice. His normal ways of impacting the game with his speed, his puck handling, but tonight, defensively, he was all over the place. That's what we've been looking for, but of course, here he is scoring the opening goal. But this, Oiler fans, we have to be so happy. This is what we've been waiting for out of McDavid. Hopefully he can keep it up, carry us to a Game 7 win, get Draisaitl going. Tyson Barrie got on the score sheet. My goodness, sir. All is forgiven. This season was tough for you, and I know I called for your name to be off the team several times, but I tell you what, you redeemed yourself tonight, good sir, so kudos to you. On to the next. Game 7 Saturday night. All right, we're going to our picks for tomorrow night. We did only have 3 games. We have Rangers Pens, Panthers Caps, and Flames Stars. Spoiler alert, I am going to be leaning towards, I want to see more Game 7s. Can I get the absolute just chaos? I need the madness. Yes, we need it. So with that in mind, Penguins, I'm going to go with you anyway, though. It's funny. I want to go, my heart wanted to go Rangers, but I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. As much as I want to go Game 7, Pens, if Crosby's going to be in there, you're going to be too much. Now, I will say this, no Crosby, this is a different story. Rangers probably have a a much better chance to winning this one. But Pens, they're gonna take it. I have confidence in it. But I want to see that Game 7. I absolutely do want to see it, and we're gonna get one out of this at least. Caps fans, rejoice! We're going with you guys. You're gonna pull this one out. We're gonna tie the series up, and we're gonna go to a Game 7 Sunday night. Flames Stars. Sorry, Flames fans. I got to go for it. Stars, I need you to pull this one out. We need a Game 7. As much as I wanted to pick the Rangers in the first one, and I teased that I was going to, and then I pulled the rug right out from under you. This one, no. I need the Stars. I need a Game 7 out of this. I need the Flames to go 7, match our 7, so our energy levels are the same. Yes, so Stars fans, I'm rooting for you heavy tomorrow night. So these are our picks. As I said, we're doing a little better. Only one loss tonight, 3-1. So I believe we are 13-10 on the season. Or on the playoffs, excuse me. So very exciting there. All right, probably my favorite time of the evening. We're going to do our deep dive. We have another great article from The Athletic. This one is titled "Brent Burns, the San Jose Sharks workout warrior, is always moving." And this one is by Corey Masisak. And man, this one was a fun one. So Brent Burns is one of my favorite players in the NHL. Just from a beard standpoint, I got to appreciate the guy. But man, he's just a behemoth of a man and just glides on the ice. It's just fun to watch. And he's been doing it for so long, right? Sharks fans since 2011. Wild fans prior to that, but I tell you what, this article covering the man, the myth, the legend, Brent Burns is just awesome. We're going to see some highlights as we go through this as well, but the article itself essentially just breaks into how Brent Burns keeps doing what he's doing at this point in his life. The man is just turned 37 March 9th. This was his age 36 season. His strength trainer in the article calls him a mutant, and any chance he can brag about him, he will. And I tell you what, Corey did an excellent job with this article and so many fun stories. Again, highly recommend it. I tell you what, but the article does start with Brent Burns' stats, and essentially it's talking about his longevity and the things he does to keep his body in shape, and kind of talking about the processes that he's had to go through over the years. Now this past season, this man that just turned 37 years old, played 2,144 minutes and 2 seconds. Absolutely ridiculous. Led the NHL. Next closest person was Victor Hedman with 86 minutes, with 86 less minutes. That's outrageous for a 36, turning 37-year-old man. He hasn't missed a game since 2013, right there. 679 straight games. That is the second longest current streak behind Phil Kessel, he'll hit 1,000 next season. And he's third all time for defenders. It blows my mind when I really think about it. You forget the impact that some of these players have had, and man, time flies. I tell you what. Now, the article does talk about a lot of stories about his preparation and what Brent Burns likes to do to keep his body in shape. The biggest, the nugget that I found the most interesting, I think, was cycling. Brent Burns is an avid cycler. He does talk about how later in his career he's had to incorporate a lot more running because he actually loses weight easier when he runs as opposed to cycling. But he talks about how he always has to be moving, and that's a big contribution to why he plays so much or why he has so much ice time. He plays nearly or a little over 26 minutes a game, and he talks about how if he's not moving, he doesn't perform as well. He's always got to be moving. And he even mentioned, if as I get older and if I do hit that point in my career where I can't, perform 26 minutes a night if I'm doing 16, well, okay, that's fine, but I'm going to be riding the bike a lot more behind the scenes then because I got to keep my body moving. I don't want that lactic acid building up. It was really fascinating to see that. And you also get a glimpse into, of course, Brent Burns, the funny man. A lot of great stories in there, and just neat to see the human being behind the hockey player as well. The article does continue to talk about, again, just his commitment to preparation and his training. He also has this, magic combination of genetic gifts and his work ethic. For fans of the channel, that might sound familiar. That's what we were talking about with Shane Wright just a couple days ago. Shane Wright is by all accounts is a work ethic junkie. The guy doesn't stop. You have to make him stop, and that's how Brent Burns is. Has a ranch with his own gym on it, or in it, excuse me. It was just fun to read about Brent Burns, the person, and how he takes care of his body and how he can still be an excellent defender at age 36, now 37. He does talk about also his diet and the importance of listening to his body. That's a big piece where that running versus cycling comes in. He also talks about the effect that different foods have on his body, which is, of course, fascinating, something that I never consider. And as I get older, maybe that is something you need to think more about, right? Even the difference between just not eating dairy, he said, versus eating veggies. And he said maybe it's mental, but it could have a tangible benefit as well. And that's really neat to see. But overall, the sum of it was that Brent Burns isn't thinking about slowing down. He wants to keep going. He is going to keep going, and good for him. He should. It's neat to see him still playing. As long as he's impactful and still, a difference maker for the Sharks. Of course, I want to see him out there as much as possible. I mean, goodness, we're repping the Brent Burns jersey tonight. The man's a legend. Beard alone. But this is another one I would highly recommend it. I'll leave the link down in the description for you guys over at The Athletic. Again, wonderful job, Corey. Great article. I look forward to reading more of your things on the channel and not on the channel. But that's going to do it for our hockey talk today in hockey. If you guys enjoy the content, please smash those like buttons and subscribe buttons. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a ton. You guys can always find me over on Twitter at the HockeyFlow22. Until next time, cheers.